A post on LinkedIn this week grabbed my attention. It was written by Renate van der Westhuizen, the principal of Apex High School in Westhuizen. It's a no-fee paying school on the Cape Flats, and it's a school that, despite all the challenges it faces, year after year it gets remarkably good results and an outstanding matric pass rate. But Renate wrote about some of the challenges that the children at this school face when they're writing exams. And I'm not going to read the entire post to you. You can find it online, but I'll read you the first little bit. She says, 999, incomplete. Finishing grade 12 in the Cape Flats isn't just about getting through exams. It's about surviving long enough to write them. Today I had to fill in 999 next to a learner's name. It means incomplete. You use it when a learner doesn't show up for their final paper. Lisa didn't show up today. Not because he didn't care, not because he gave up, but because someone stabbed him on Saturday and he died on the way to the hospital. 999, incomplete. Renate then followed the post up with a second post sometime later where she said, beyond 999, the harder conversation in the days after posting 999 incomplete. One thing became painfully clear. People are hungry for real talk about what actually drives student success. Not slogans, not pity, not soft landings. Real work, real belief, real expectations. She joins us on the line now to have one of those hard conversations. Renate, good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for such a profound post.
Good afternoon, Amy, and thank you for having me.
What prompted you to write that post?
I don't know, for frustration and anger. I told one of my colleagues that obviously the attention the post got was very unexpected, because sometimes you make a post to raise awareness, to make people angry, to make people sad, or to make people laugh. That wasn't my intention that day. I was struck by, I think today is my 24th session in the hall, and you walk around and you look for 3 hours and you look at the kids' faces. And that day, what got to me was, the kids, when Lisa Kanya got stabbed over the weekend, we didn't tell all the grade 12s because they were writing maths on Monday. And Friday they wrote maths, and it was already a difficult paper. And we didn't tell everybody. We just, his register class knew about it. And then his register kids, obviously, one of his best friends sits next to him and the other one behind him. And these, they're not boys anymore. They are, they're young men. They're sitting there, they're writing maths, and the tears are literally just rolling down their cheeks. And that got to me. And I was just thinking to myself, I went to a ex-Model C school, and I was thinking, in all my years, from grade 8 from grade 1 until grade 12, we never had a death in the school. Not never. Yeah. It just didn't happen. Yeah. And I think what prompted me to make the post was just the unfairness of, the inequality, I suppose. And that still makes me very, very angry, and it frustrates me. And I'm not angry at any specific, the department or the government or political party, just, at what it is at the moment to live in the Cape Flats.
In your follow-up post, Beyond 999, you address the way that you manage these difficulties to still succeed, despite all the odds. And you put it down to maintaining not impossibly high, but very, very high standards and expectations of these kids. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yes, I think what I've seen, I've been the principal since 2018, this is my 8th year, and what I see with a lot of people, how people treat kids or people living in poverty, is they give up on them. I once went to a braai with my friends, and I said, you know what, I did some research because I wanted to do my PhD on this, and did you know there isn't a non-selective, no-fee high school in the Western Cape with 100% pass rate for 5 consecutive years? And then one of my friends said, oh, what did you expect? And I'm like, I don't know what that means. Shouldn't we expect the same? Just because you live in Westhuizen doesn't mean you've got lesser of a, capacity or IQ than anybody else. It should be the same. So, often when we look at our kids, we don't expect much of them. But that is because sometimes we pity them, sometimes we just give up, and that is it's detrimental. What we should be doing is have very high expectations, obviously that they could meet, but because even if you've got your own children will meet your expectations. So if you expect nothing, they're going to give you nothing. And if you expect a lot, they are going to meet it. It might take a bit longer, but they will get there. So with us, it starts with the way they dress, the uniform. So we are very strict with the uniform because we know when our kids leave and when they go get a job, they need to dress in a certain way. So even with the little things, we've got a saying in the school that says the standard you walk by is a standard you accept. So if you walk past a child that is dressed untidy, then it means as an adult you are expecting it, or it's okay for you. If you walk past somebody that's swearing, then you are telling that child it's okay, you can speak like that. Although you still create space for the child, to experience what they're experiencing, but they're not going to give up. This is in this exam. We had a child after the first day, her house burned down completely. There was nothing left. They just wrote English paper 3, and then the house burned down to the ground. No books left, no clothes left, nothing. And then Lisa Kanya got killed. And just now, we're writing tourism today. One of my kids came in, but just like the exam started at 2, he came in 1 minute to 2, and there's blood on his shirt, and I can see he's shaking. So I'm asking, what's wrong? What happened? And he said, ma'am, it's fine, just leave it. And I'm like, what happened? You can't write like this. I'm going to quickly make you sugar water. Go make the child sugar water, comes back. I said, do you want to tell me what happened? And he said, no, ma'am, they're fighting there in my area. There's gangsters, and my brother's involved. I'm worried he's going to die now. Now you have to write a 3-hour tourism paper with the thought in your head that my brother might not be there when I get out. It's holding the space, it's having empathy, but not feeling sorry for our kids, but also having high expectations. It's a difficult line.
Renate, working in a high school, in a sort of state high school in South Africa is challenging enough on its own. Even in a good area or a safe area, I cannot imagine how you deal on an ongoing basis. How do you get up every day and keep going to school in the face of all these difficulties?
I suppose it's a calling. And you show up for the kids because they need somebody, and it's just not me. I've got a wonderful team I've got a wonderful school leadership team, and we've got exceptional teachers. And every single one of these teachers feel about the kids what I feel about the kids. They will stop. They will give them their lunch. They will do anything. The first child I told you about that lost their house, her registered teacher drove home. She lives in the Strand. She called a bunch of us. She got things together. She got food together, and she drove back to the child to make sure she's got everything she needs. She made sure she can copy the books again. So it helps that you work with a team of teachers that really honestly care about the kids deeply, like it's your own. I know it sounds a bit like a cliche, and I think that is what brings you back. The potential. You see the potential of the kids, and you don't want to give up. Our main focus was to prove to South Africa that it doesn't matter what is your address. It doesn't matter if you're poor. It doesn't matter your gender, your race. You can achieve just as well as the best schools in South Africa.
Renate, very quickly, what kind of pass rate are you expecting for this class of matrics?
We were expecting a 97% pass rate, but as I said, they've been in that same class. We had a child earlier this year that committed suicide.
Oh, gosh.
So we had 3 kids die this year. It's been a rough year with a lot of challenges. It's not an excuse, but it does affect you as a human. So we're still expecting 97%, which is not. But our bachelor pass rate is going to be very high this year, higher than last year, and I think we will definitely have more subject days.
You are incredible, and a message on the WhatsApp line from a listener saying, don't give up, thank you. How inspiring. Yes, it is a calling, bless you. So thank you very much, Renate, for all you're doing for those children. And I hope that you keep at it for a long time to come. Renate van der Westhuizen, principal of Apex High School in Westhuizen.